The bloated Dorito in chief in the White House just pulled the plug on Sesame Street. Let me explain. There was an executive order on May 1st that was meant to cut funding to CPB, which is the Corporate Public Broadcasting. So that is the body that controls all the money that goes into all the PBS stations around the country. And for anyone that knows, PBS are the ones that kind of distribute your Sesame Streets and your PBS News Hours and NPR. It's unbiased, neutral programming that is meant to offset paid programming. So there's a law that was made in the 60s where if you're going to have people pay to watch TV or programming, there's got to be equal kind of like an equilibrium to that. So you got to have free content, right? So that's why PBS exists. And it also exists for people who don't have a lot of money to get your, HBO subscriptions, your Apple TVs, and sometimes even internet. Sesame Street isn't going anywhere. They have a distribution deal with HBO, and they make enough money off advertising and licensing that they can be sustainable. But the thing is that they won't get distributed for free. And that's the catch. So there's going to be a lot of places around the country that won't get Sesame Street anymore for families who that's one of their sources of entertainment for their kids or an educational tool for kids. This really hits home personally because Sesame Street and PBS as a whole was something that I grew up with. My parents didn't have a lot of money growing up. I'm a son of immigrant parents. English wasn't also my first language. So Sesame Street was a very clear example for me where I was educated and absorbed a lot of the good stuff that Sesame Street is and does. As an artist, I owe so much to shows like that were free to watch, that really opened my mind, expanded your way of thinking, and in super creative ways. I mean, if you really remember, at least for people my age, just kind of stuff that Sesame Street was showing was like really radical, cool stuff. It was groovy. It was amazing. It breaks my heart that good media like that is getting shut down. And there's going to be a generation of kids that are not going to know what Sesame Street is. And that is more heartbreaking than anything.